2021 brought exciting changes to many of our 41 spaces, thanks to our Building the Next Generation Library initiative. See what we accomplished in year 3 of our 10-year facility master plan. Anderson.
At Anderson in 2021, we did a refresh of the branch, which actually started back in 2019 when we had listening sessions with the community and heard what kind of things that they'd be interested in seeing in their location.
We removed that big circulation desk that was a huge barrier to customer service. Now we can quickly get to our customers from the desk. We switched some collections. We now have a new teen area. So the teens really do have a dedicated space now with room to move around. And we've got some STEM equipment in the form of a car for our children's room. So children can come in and get in the car and learn about some parts of the car and how a car operates.
The community told us that they wanted a space that was dynamic and engaging and would offer a place for the community to get together and talk. They also wanted areas that were specifically delineated for children and teen and adults, but at the same time they wanted quiet space and noisy space. So we were able to provide all of that with this refresh.
We know customers are busy, they've got lots to do, so we tried to concentrate the majority of what our customers want into our marketplace area. So they could come in and quickly get their holds, they can come in and browse the DVDs, they can get to our large print section very easily, as well as our new arrivals and our Lucky Day collection.
Every time I go to visit the Anderson Library, it's so much fun to see how people are using the space. The families in the kids area, the kids crawling through the car, they have these big cushions the kids are always rearranging and playing with the animals that are there. It's so much fun. And then going into the quiet room and seeing people sitting by the fireplace and reading. They rearrange the furniture so that it's even more comfortable for them. It's just great to see how they're using the space.
Just to see the excitement and see them look around and ask them if they need help finding anything, they start talking about how beautiful it is and how much they like the changes.
Deer Park.
In 2021 at Deer Park, we got ready to move to the new branch. We'd been in a 4,100 square foot branch since 1997, and now in December we are getting to move into 25,000 square feet.
If you look at our FMP plan, we want to have a 25,000 square foot branch in each of our service regions. So the opportunity for this came up because the TJ Maxx space had been vacant for many years, probably about 7. So I think the community felt, they wanted to keep us. The listening session in 2019 was the highest attended listening session, and they really made a point of mentioning many places that were optimal for keeping a branch alive in the Deer Park community.
Expanding the branch is really going to mean everything to customers. In the tiny space, we could only do programs when the branch was closed or when all the folks were in there. So now we have 2 meeting spaces and program rooms. They can seat 170 respectively. And we have 7 study rooms for 3 to 4 people. So all the folks who haven't been able to study and be in a nice quiet space will have state-of-the-art facilities to do that.
Once we had the plans ready, we were really moving forward at a good pace. Everything they were doing down in the current place, they'll be able to do here, and people will see continued improvements.
It's definitely an understatement to say that I'm excited. This space and this community and this staff, all together, this is a dream come true.
It's amazing. The system's never done anything like this before, so it's just been a joy to be here in the system as long as I have, and to be able to finally see us, get a branch that's worthy of serving the community for the next 100 years.
Madisonville.
So at Madisonville, we are in the midst of planning for a relocation for our branch operations there for the Madisonville community.
Based on the location of the current Madisonville branch library, we're landlocked, so we are surrounded by a church and the fire department, so we really don't have a place to expand. And it just so happens that there's a lot of development going on right now in Madisonville, and there was just a good opportunity for us to move into a mixed-use space, which will give us more than double the public space that we currently have.
So that's going to give us a lot of opportunities to offer service in a way that we can't quite do in the existing building. Of course, we're going to have improved data and power. We can add more computers. We can add in small study spaces, larger study spaces. We're actually going to create several bays for some kind of maker activities. So these are going to be spaces that are dedicated for certain equipment that we can put in there, and then we can change out and update it, as we progress through the years, as technology changes and improves, we can add different kinds of maker equipment in there.
One of the biggest concerns right away is, are we tearing down the current building? And the answer to that is no. For the time being, we're going to hold on to it, and I think that provides a lot of reassurance for the community that we're not just selling it right away. We're not going to tear it down. That we're really just going to hold on to it, and a big piece of the history of Madisonville is going to remain, while still providing a new modern space for the community.
The development and all of the things that are happening in Madisonville is pretty exciting. I mean, it looks quite different. If you haven't driven down Madison Road in a year or so, I'd encourage you to go take a look, because it really has a different look, but it's in keeping with the older historic flavor of the neighborhood.
It's sort of bittersweet. We're leaving behind a beautiful historic building that the community loves, but excited to see what this next chapter holds for Madisonville and what this new space means for the community.
Main Library.
At Main in 2021, we spent a lot of time getting ready for a multi-year project. We celebrated the closing, at least the temporary closing, of the South Building with the public and elected officials, and we got everybody ready for the idea that we would have service in the North Building for a year and a half to 2 years, while we prepared the South Building to be the next generation library that we believe it can be.
We started the elevator project, which was replacing 7 elevators with new refurbished elevators. We replaced all the systems in the elevators. The cabs will all be new cabs, new surrounds. We also started the Skylight project, which you can see that we closed off part of the street for this project. Scaffolding went up, and the old skylight was removed.
Our customers made it really clear that as good a library as we are, and as important as the Main Library is to our system, we have an opportunity to really go beyond what we've traditionally offered and create a next generation library in the South Building with accessible stairs, with exciting Cincinnati stories about our own history and our own genealogy. We have an opportunity to create a multi-generational branch experience on that first floor. We have a chance to create meeting rooms and other more private spaces on the second and third floor of the building. So we are really expanding our reach, and as well as making business opportunities more available and technology opportunities more available by creating what will ultimately be a technology-focused North Building.
So we also this year removed the walls to the children's garden, redid the plantings out there, added some new sidewalks and landscaping and a feature wall. So this will give better access. Will be an open concept. It is not closed off, so it's completely open garden-like facility to the North Building. The South Building Plaza needed to be repaired. We had massive leaks in the foundation there, and we needed to do that repair. In the meantime, we wanted to open up access to that building, change the entrance to be much more patron accessible.
What the customers can experience when all of this is done, when the construction is complete, is a phenomenal entryway on the south side of the building that will really open up the library to all of our community to really live out the idea of minds of all kinds as customers walk down Vine Street. They can also expect, as soon as they walk in, to understand how to get to the upper floors of the building. There will be a social stairwell as well as an additional stairwell that will take them all the way up to the second and third floors. They wanted the library to feel more welcoming, more engaging. They wanted technology to be easy to find. They wanted meeting spaces, and we'll be able to provide that for them.
I'm very excited. I think it's going to look awesome when we're done.
I can't imagine being more excited about anything in my entire career. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, not just for library staff, but truly for the community. It just doesn't happen that often that you get what is essentially a brand new library, and they are getting 500,000 square feet of renewed experience and hundreds of thousands of square feet of brand new experience, both inside and out.
Marymount.
In 2021 at Marymount, construction began on the skylight over our patio. This skylight is going to allow the patio area to be basically a 3-season room. It's going to allow us to have a programming space that's outside, in the fresh air, 3 seasons of the year, and cause less disruption in the branch itself when we have programs, especially for children.
One of the things that we decided that Marymount really needs, since they do not have a meeting room, they need a more flexible space to hold larger programs, and the way to make that happen is to get mobile shelving. So the decision was made as we were working with our fiscal office and with Eric Pennington, the branch manager, is that we should try to exchange out the old shelving that was from the original to the branch in the early 70s.
The shelving in the children's room is very outdated. It's also very mismatched and not built for the size of children's books. So the new shelving is going to make not only the space more attractive, but it's going to make it more browsable for patrons and for children.
It's amazing how quickly they're moving on this one. I mean, it's December. They didn't really start till November, and I think they said they'll have it done maybe by the end of January. So it's pretty amazing how quickly this project's moving.
We're all pretty excited about it, and the community as well. We have the mock-up in the branch, and people are very excited to see what that's going to look like when it's done. They're excited to watch the progress. So that's kind of a thing. When patrons come in, they want to look out the door to see what they're doing and where we're at with it. So it's going to be a neat space.
Price Hill.
In April of 2021 at Price Hill, we reopened our beautiful historic Carnegie Branch Library with a large renovation and expansion project.
It was just an amazing experience to see our customers come back and just be excited about the space and experience all the plans that we put forth over 2020 into the beginning of 2021.
Essentially what we did was keep the old building and wrap around it. So we reoriented the entrance to be what used to be the back from the parking lot, so people can drive up, park very easily in our nice new paved lot, walk in an accessible entrance, and they come in to the ground floor where service is. We've retained the upstairs, and upstairs we have some really, really nice meeting space where we can accommodate probably some of the largest groups that we can seat at the library. We've got small study rooms, we've got a wonderful, what we call the messy room, and in the messy room we can have after-school snacks or kind of craft projects that tend to get a little bit sloppy or messy. There's appropriately sized sinks for children to wash up. So we've really changed the way the community can use the library to reflect the way they want to use the library.
It's nice that we were able to keep the outside looking relatively the same, which I feel like looks great on Warsaw Avenue. When people are driving by, many people say like, oh, we didn't know that anything changed because we didn't come to the front. And I said, yeah, it's kind of like a merging of the old and the new where you come from the old and you're coming into the new while you're coming back to what used to be the back of the building. And then the inside, it's a little unrecognizable until you get into meeting room 209 and meeting room 212. That's where you see where the original branch was.
It's just beautiful. I used to work there for 4 years, coincidentally, and when I go back there, it still feels the same, but better. And I couldn't be happier for that community to have that library branch.
Now that we're having the meal programs and our regular programming, the kids are feeling right at home again.
Walnut Hills.
So at our Walnut Hills Branch Library in 2021, we continued with our planning efforts to organize and prepare for another renovation and expansion of another beautiful old historic Carnegie Branch Library.
We were lucky enough to be able to acquire land right next to the branch, and so we were able to expand the library. So we're going from about 5,000 square feet of usable space to right around 20,000 square feet of space. So we are quadrupling our space. We'll have quite a few meeting rooms, study rooms on the main level, and then we'll have a very large auditorium that is actually original to the building on the lower level that will be made accessible and usable again.
So we recognized that we had a very loyal customer base in Walnut Hills and of course the surrounding community of Evanston, and we felt that we would not be able to continue to operate the library out of the Kemper Lane location, so we opened a temporary space on McMillan Street within sightlines of the existing original branch. So right now we've got service operating out of an old storefront, which is cute and cozy and charming, and we're still seeing lots of our neighborhood regulars there who use that facility to come in and get books and movies and access printing and scanning and faxing. So it's really important that we're still there, that we still have a presence in the neighborhood, but we know our customers can't wait for us to be finished with our project and move back in on Kemper Lane.
This community absolutely loves the library, and we're so grateful for our community support, and to be able to have a library that truly serves this really great community will be absolutely fantastic. That it will be accessible to everybody that comes in. If you want to use the library, you can come in, and so that's just amazing.
We also added drive-thrus at our Delhi and Sims branches. That brings us to 7 libraries with drive-through service. And the North Central branch had a heating and cooling system upgrade. Also in 2021, we excitedly announced our relocation in Forest Park, a brand new 25,000 square foot next generation library will be built at 600 North Lind Boulevard.
We have been hard at work during the last 2 years, upgrading, renovating, and improving many of our facilities. If you haven't had a chance, please stop by one of our renovated or improved facilities to see all that we're doing, and I can promise you there's more to come.